You are listening to the No Invite Podcast.
Season 3.
The progression.
Follow us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast or look us up on YouTube at No Invite Podcast.
The best kept secret.
Bang, we back. No Invite Podcast, Season 3, The Progression. This is episode 72. We got...
Yes, sir. Your boy Lawz in the building.
Lawz, man, what's going on, bro? How you been, man? How's everything going with you, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm grinding, man. I'm in good spirits. I can't complain and shit, you know. Kind of Corona again, going away and shit. Everybody getting back outside. So
man, it's starting. Yeah. I mean, that's the vibe. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That's really the vibe. It's like Corona's dying down around here too, and it's the same thing. Everybody outside. Everybody, you know, like things are starting to feel a little normal, if there's even such thing, you know.
Yeah, right.
Real talk, man.
That's a fact.
I wanted to ask you, how's your New Year going so far, bro? How's your New Year treating you?
Oh, it's good so far. I can't lie. A lot of progression. You know, everybody kind of been on a positive note and shit because last year we was all kind of in a slump, you know, with everything going on. So I feel like shit's pretty good. Plus, you know, like the season's changing. So, you know, people kind of change with the seasons. Now the sun's back out. So changing, people are smiling more. It's not so gloomy in the city, you know?
Hell yeah, man. Well, that's a fact. And you can tell, like we were just saying, you can tell when you go outside, you walk around, it's the vibes different, the energy different. You know what I mean? If you're into astronomy, the Mars and all the other shits in regeneration or whatever they call it, retrograde. It's in Gatorade right now.
Shorty be going crazy with that. So I know what you're talking about. Trust.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, the vibe is shifting. It's definitely shifting, bro. I first met you, Los Angeles, Stick Gang Cypher. Tore it down out there. We did our thing, man. We kicked off the whole Stick Gang Cypher, I guess you could say series.
Word.
And, you know, we actually got an opportunity to, you recorded a song with one of my artists, actually my brother, Chico Spitz. I was telling you off camera, I had an interview of you that I did, a quick interview, but the camera was janky as fuck. So, and I'm going to keep it 1,000, you feel me? The camera was janky as fuck. So when I went back and looked at it, I was pissed. I was like, man, fuck. But
I need another one.
And then that's what I was thinking too. I was like, yo, when I get these Zoom things going, I definitely got to get him back in this and actually talk to him and chop it up with him. So tell me a little bit about yourself, bro. Like where you from and how long you been making music and things like that.
So I'm from Brooklyn, New York and shit. If y'all not familiar with New York, I'm from the Brooklyn section and shit. So Brooklyn's probably the biggest borough. So, but being from Brooklyn, I travel a lot. A lot of other boroughs, they probably don't get outside their borough, but Brooklyn's so big that we tend to go a lot of places. So I'm just a young brother from the city, man, just out here trying to make it, bro.
Trying to make it.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm a real down-to-earth person. I'm calm, I'm chill. Like, ain't nothing too extra about me, you know, like, just your average, ordinary person, man, that I just love to do art and music, man. Like, I just been doing this since I was young. I've been doing the art, so that's how I kind of got into the music, because before I was doing just like drawing and graffiti, like, you know, coming up in the culture and shit, you know, especially like around our age range, that shit was all one, you know. Now kind of like art and the graffiti, I feel like everything's starting now to come back together. I feel like in the beginning, everything was one, you know, like everybody started with a tag name that developed into your rap name, and then, you know, so on and so forth.
Crew, your tagging crew turned into your rap crew. And,
facts. Then you got older, shit turned into a real gang with some people. You know,
real talk though. That's real shit. And you know what? I think that as you coming up and you're getting into that, those things are always going to be tied in together. The art, the street art, the rap, the culture, even the gang shit. You know what I mean? So it's all connected. You know what I mean? Because it's all a product of our environment. You know, but a lot of artists, such as yourself and myself, when we do things as a reflection of where we're from. You know, what's around us, what surrounds us, and that's like what inspires us to do things. So. You could, you know what I mean? I mean, we all know already. I had my tag name. My tag name was Dizzy. You feel me? That was cool. My shit. You know what I mean?
My shit was actually Lawz. Like, you feel me? That shit been my shit forever.
Yeah. So I can dig it, man. I'm very, very familiar with that. When you said that, I started thinking about some shit I was doing. You know what I mean?
No, facts,
but,
bro.
I want to ask you, bro, as an artist, you know, artist in general, because you do it all, how would you define yourself? You know what I mean?
I guess I'm more of a quiet person. I'm more like, I feel like expressive, like through my art, like whether it's music or even like drawing something. So like I may have like a meaning to it. So I'm probably trying to say something when I'm drawing a picture, like it got a certain type of meaning to it, or when I'm doing a song. Like, but besides that, for the most part, I'm probably like a little quiet, but once I kind of warm up to somebody, I get like, I come out my shell, I'm pretty cool, we vibe and shit.
Reserved. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for everybody. I'm the same way. I feel like how you carry yourself is very important around people, because everybody can't get your real energy. You know what I'm saying? Can't get the truth. They could get some of it, but they can't get the, like for you to get to know me, the real me, and for me to let my guard down around you, that's when you actually get to know the real me. You know what I mean? Yeah,
facts.
So, and that's I tell people, especially the age of social media that we living in now, you can't give all your energy out there because, it will drain you. It will really drain you. You know what I mean? You'll be like, damn, like, why do I feel like this? Or why am I so burnt out on what I'm doing? It's because, you too many people have access to you.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, bro.
So I always tell people that, and everybody know that ain't nothing new. They say protect your energy. That shit's real. It's not just a meme. You know what I mean?
That's a fact, bro.
Who influenced you in musically coming up? Like, was it cats from your neighborhood, from Brooklyn? Was it from like all over? Like, who influenced you as an artist as far as music goes?
Music, if you want to say like popular rap artists, you could say like regular names like Jay-Z. I used to listen to a lot of Eminem coming up, like 50 Cent, Noriega, like because my older cousin, he raps actually, so that's like one of the people I know that I'm related to that really first off influenced me, because I seen him doing it since he was like even younger than me. He's probably rapping since he was like 18, trying to make it. And back then in like the 90s, it was even harder to be independent. Like like the way we doing it now is not even thought of. So it was just cool to see him kind of go through that and just learn. And that's what put me on to a lot of hip hop, because I would just see like the War Report poster, Noriega. This is before I even knew what rap was. Or he's telling me like, yo, go ask the DJ if they got 50 Cent. Like, this is before I even knew who 50 Cent was. And I'm like, what's 50 Cent? Like, shit's crazy. So it's just like, to think about it now, like how far things have come and shit is really dope and shit. Because that shit definitely took me a long way. And that's one of the people I started recording with first, my cousin. So
that's dope. That's dope, man. I full circle. If you ask me the same thing, I would tell you the same thing. When one of my older partners from my neighborhood and shit, he was the first one to act back in the day to really have access to a studio. And he used to go all the time and bring his records back and play us his rough cuts that he was in there cutting his shit. And that right there inspired me. Like, I listened to all kinds of rappers from all over, from the east to the west, down south, everywhere. If it was dope, and I like lyrics, so it's like that's what I check for. But yeah, it's always somebody that, from your inner circle that kind of shows you, or someone that you've been around that kind of shows you that this shit's possible. Like,
that's a fact, bro. Because one of my closest friends is the reason why, like, I actually really, really like started rapping and then later on took shit serious. Because one of my friends, he moved to like Florida for about like a year or two, and I remember he came back. He's like, yo, I made this song and I shot a video, and he did all this shit himself. So it was like on a shitty ass camera and shit. The audio wasn't even that good, but for him to just be doing it by himself on some independent shit, that shit blew my mind at like 19 years old. I was like, oh, nah, I got to start doing this with you just for fun. So that's how I kind of got into it. And it's funny because now I'm doing it serious and he don't even rap no more. Like, it was just a hobby for him. Yeah.
And you know what? The more we do this shit and the more we travel along this journey, you're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see some cats that you think that they're the next up. And really, it's actually you that's going to take it farther. You know what I mean? It's probably you that's going to go way farther than they did, just based on the inspiration, I think. Like you said, when you see people that do it, even if it ain't done super well, the fact that they doing it inspires you. Like, it's gonna make a hater mad, but it's gonna make a player inspired. He's gonna be like, okay, yeah, I see my guy doing it. I could do this shit. You know what I mean? That's in fact, I want to get down with you. Let's do it together. You know what I mean? So I got another question for you. Top 5 dead or alive. Who is on your list? No particular order. We're not gonna rank one because that shit's difficult. It could just be
all day.
Exactly. We could discuss every single pick and why. You know what I mean?
Oh man, we definitely got to put Big in there because we don't know how much more better he would have become, and he was still mad young, so there's still so much more progression to see. Definitely Jay-Z's up there. His wordplay been good forever. Styles P and Jadakiss, they always been two of my favorites. Yeah, always. Yeah. Like, it's hard to argue who's better between them two. So that alone is a challenge. you can't forget Eminem. Like I can't front. I was a big Eminem fan growing up because he was just crazy with the wordplay, and he was just painting pictures that nobody was really painting with the words. What is that so far? I think that's like 4.
That's 5 actually. But
That's
we're gonna not to take anything away from Jada and Styles, but I feel like they're the two arms on the same monster. You do what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
Give you one more.
Give me one more.
Nas, you can't forget Nas. Like yeah. I feel like you could still listen to Illmatic and that shit still relates so many years later. It's like crazy.
Illmatic's like a fucking movie, how I describe it. You put it on from the beginning, it's like watching a classic. It's like watching Paid in Full, or it's like watching fucking Menace to Society. Like you put it on and you already know what you're gonna get. You know how this motherfucker ends, but it's still a journey. He still paints the pictures. You know it. Like, so to me, that's probably one of my favorite artists of all time, Nas, to keep it real with you. Okay, so being that you're an artist, bro, and I know you do more than music, bro, you definitely got the clothing line, you got that jumping off. You're obviously doing the plush rugs. I seen the video the other day that you posted up. What do you think that as an independent artist for yourself, what do you think that you need to take what you're doing right now and just get to that next level? What would you think? What would it take? Yeah, what would it take for you? Or what would you need right now?
Honestly, I feel like just probably a little more promotion. And even on my end, I could probably just do a little bit more and shit. Because I feel like, and just being consistent. So if I promote the consistency and people stay seeing me do something, they might feel like they're growing with me. And people like to see growth. So that's where I'm really trying to take it and just keep just pushing forward, because over time, if you keep just doing positive shit and you stay consistent, you bound to just go forward. You're not gonna go backwards. So
it's the odds, man. The odds are with you, bro. The more that you do something, the odds are better in your favor. Something's gonna hit. And the thing is like, the reason why I asked that is because you're already on your trajectory. You're already trending upwards. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everything you're doing is moving up. And a lot of times, when you ask an artist a question like that, then they're not really sure. And that's kind of that kind of is the roadblock. You dig what I'm saying? Because now she's like, okay, I know what I'm doing, but what's my next move? Like, what's the move that's gonna tie all these things together that I'm doing to get me to the next one? And there's no right or wrong answer when it comes to that. It's whatever because it's your art, it's your career, and what you got going on. So I just wanted to ask that. I like to ask that a lot. I had another question for you. Your brand, NYC. Tell me about it.
All right, so basically, this is a brand I started back in 2015 and shit. Around that time, like I just always been like a very like conscious person, like just self-conscious of myself and my whereabouts and things I do and stuff. So like I always wanted, if I created something or just do something, I always wanted to have some type of meaning about it. Like, you feel me? So when I was coming up with a brand name, like that's one thing that just kind of like stuck with me, just because it has so many meanings to it, and plus it kind of like fucked up some people's heads because they would think it said Illuminati, but it's really illuminate, which means enlighten. So it's kind of like the whole opposite of that, and it kind of fucks people's heads up. And then what I also thought was cool was like I found that I could have kind of abbreviated with ill. And that's such like a big New York saying. He's been saying ill forever. Like, you feel me? Like, I probably got that shit from listening to too much Nas. You feel me? Saying ill all the time. You feel me? So
you know what I mean?
So it just like came together and it just made sense. You feel me? And so
it definitely makes sense, bro. And I asked you about it because I see you're always doing something. You're always doing the pop-ups, special collabs. I think you did one with Spider Cuz.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I like I said, I keep up as much as I can. This fucking Instagram algorithm don't make it easy. I was just telling my partner the other day, I'm like, bro, I'm fucking shadow banned. I know I am, because in order to look me up on Instagram, you got to type my whole name as it is.
Oh man,
you can't just be like, because you know how usually, especially if you constantly tag somebody and you hit them, maybe like the first three letters you put in there and it pops up.
Yeah, off the rip.
And people think that they're like, oh, that's not shadow ban. I'm like, well, that's a tactic they use. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's really something that we have to, as artists and people that have brands and promoting music. It's one of the things that we have to fight for. You know what I mean? It's really, really different when it comes to the promoting on Instagram now than it was when it first started.
They want you to pay for that, man. That's why now.
That's all it is. They're watching all that money get made off people, influencers making money on their platform. They're like, oh, we got to get a piece.
Yeah, no, that's a fact, bro. Yeah, because I feel like a couple years ago it was easy. It was more easier to put out stuff and get real views and people actually
engaging,
interacting. Yeah, interacting with it. You feel me? Now I feel like that shit's showing like not even 20% of the people you follow. Yeah, and that shit don't statistically even make sense. Yeah,
and they're talking about, you know, they talk a lot about stuff. You see things that says they're going to go back to chronological order, you know, in real time, like a ticker, you know, as people post it, you're just going to see it but you know, they're still going to work a way to get that money out.
Yeah, so that's a fact.
We got it. That's just one of the many things we got to deal with as a brand, you know, but, what's the move with the, with Illuminate NYC? What can we expect coming up? Like, do you have any new drops coming, anything on that?
Yeah, so we just had a little drop for Valentine's Day and stuff. When we had the pop-up last week at a spot called Extra Ketchup in Brooklyn, actually a really dope store. You know, if y'all out here, you should check it out. It's in Bushwick or Williamsburg, I believe, one of the two. Brooklyn's so big, I always forget. But the next thing I'm working on, I got a new catalog stuff coming out for the spring. So definitely got some jackets coming, different stuff like that. I still got a bunch of stuff coming for the summer. So that's what we're really getting prepared for. Because you know, summertime, that's when people really like to shop and get fly. So that's when you got to have all the drip ready to go.
They want to show all their outfits. They want to be out, you know what I mean? I could dig that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Most definitely, bro. Blessings with that, man. I definitely got to place my order in too. I wanted to ask you something else. And this is a question I asked everybody that comes to the podcast because it's no right or wrong answer. It's just an opinion. I wanted to ask you, what do you think is more important when it comes to music, like being an artist and even an artist in fashion and whatnot? What do you think is more important? Let's start with music first. What's more important, style or substance?
Substance, honestly.
Yeah.
Because even if it's not that deep, if it's just a bunch of bullshit, niggas ain't sticking around for that. Like, or it's only for so long, they're going to stick around for that, you know? Or they're going to just show up for that only in the club and not later. Yeah. And I feel like as an artist, you want kind of them to see you from every aspect and different angle. Because, you know, you always feel it different ways, not always just a club record or just somebody talking flashy shit, you know?
Most definitely. Yeah, I believe that. And I really look at it as like, style is cool. And style is trendy and stuff like that, but I don't think style has the longevity that substance does. You know what I mean? Like we just talked about fucking Nas's Stillmatic album. Like I could play that shit to this day right now. And you know, style is not, and I'm saying style ain't necessary. Style is very necessary, but I feel like if you have substance and style, you have a greater chance of being felt, you know, for your art, because people are, you know, like you said, everybody ain't always in the club mood. You know, sometimes people are down, they struggling. Sometimes they need something to uplift them. Sometimes they need something inspirational, you know, something deep, maybe just something that's, you know, just different. So, you know, it's a question I always ask. There's no right or wrong answer. Now, on the flip side, when it comes to this clothing line and fashion, what's more important, substance or style?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. There's like pros and cons to both, but I want to say style, but it's like you could really have style, but if it's really not meaning anything, like when people break down, like, because I think I'm gonna go with substance again, because I feel like when people really resonate with your brand, then they really become like long-term fans, and they might buy into everything that you drop. If it's just style, they might like only, you know, everybody has their own certain style, so they may like one thing that you make because that's that one style. You know, I feel like if you have like because I'm trying to build honestly a lifestyle brand. You know, so that's why I wanted to have substance and feel like, all right, this is fly, but it got some meaning behind it. So it really means something. It's like when you wear like somebody from your culture or something, you proud to wear that shirt because you know it means something. So when somebody asks you, what's that? You ready to tell them right away, you know? So definitely, I feel like substance.
I agree with you 100%. I know, you know, that people have come up to you before they purchase anything. They're looking at your clothes and they ask you what it means. Yeah, definitely. Ask you what your name brand means, and you tell them, and you give them a little quick breakdown. And that right there alone, if they really like what you're saying and they like that it you know, they like the meaning behind it, that right there will make them purchase it. You know, I've had that plenty of times. My clothing brand is RiBirth Clothing Co. And a lot of people ask me, well, what does RiBirth stand for? And it's like, I give them the breakdown. and it's the same thing. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, because it has the substance to it.
Yeah.
My thing is the styles come and go. There's nothing wrong with styles and being on the forefront of style, but they come and go, you know, so you can't be married just to style. You got to have that substance to carry you for that distance, you know, to be remembered, you know. So what's next for you, bro? I heard you got an album out right now. What's going on with that? Are you about to drop an album? What's happening?
Nah, Paper Route 2 is actually out right now. Y'all could go get that. It's on all streaming platforms. I got a couple features on there. My homie from Detroit, Eno. Shout out to Eno from the Boulevard. I got my homies from Uptown on there, the Watts Brothers. I also got my boy J Flow on there. So it's just a couple features on there. That's kind of like my second project. It was supposed to come out in the summertime, but it was kind of delayed because I was opening the shop here, you know, and getting things going with the clothing and shit. So I kind of fell back on that because it's hard when you got two passions. It's easy to fall into one and get so busy with it that you kind of forget the other one. So I was like, yo, I gotta get back on my music shit because I was missing it. Because every time I see you or your brother drop dope shit, I'm like, yo, I gotta make some, because your brother been dropping some ill videos, by the way. He always on his shit.
He's always on his shit when it comes to that,
So it's always motivational, especially like after me and everybody there that was in the cypher, like we were all doing so many things. So I feel like it's great because it always keeps me on my toes and keeps me going. So yeah, man.
It keeps you motivated, man. You see other people doing it, you're like, oh yeah. Cause and that's real shit, because honestly, bro, since the cypher was a dope ass experience, I made sure that I kept up with everybody from there. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the reason why I liked the whole situation. It was not only just to showcase ourselves, but we got to meet people from other places and actually like bond and see what they got going on. Because now it's like, it's different if I followed you and I just came across your page. I don't really know you, but you know, I'm like, okay, his stuff's interesting. But it's different when they're like, yo, I met this cat. He's dope. He's a humble dude. Good cat, and he working, he grinding and stuff. Is different because now, like you said, I'm along with your journey now. I met you, so I'm like, yo, this cat's dope, and now I get to see your progression and where you're going with it. So the cypher shit was dope, man. I'm glad that we got a chance to do that. Paper Route out right now.
Yes, sir.
All streaming sites, all streaming platforms, correct?
Yes, sir. Everywhere.
Everywhere. You got to have that accessibility, right? People got to be able to reach out to.
Yes, sir.
I don't give a fuck. I put whole songs on Instagram, bro. Like,
facts, bro.
You know, I'm just.
That's what I'm saying. The shit's even on SoundCloud. Like, it's not even about making money. Honestly, the purpose is for people to hear the shit. Like, that's the most important purpose. Because I'm making all this shit for people to hear it and enjoy it. You know. Yeah.
And it's coming from the righteous place because of that. You know what I mean? You're coming for the art and stuff. Now I see the rugs in the background, bro. How'd you fall into that? Is what I want to know. How'd y'all fall into the rugs?
Well, actually, when I moved in here, I actually met one of my homies from next door. He's like, he does screen printing, so he's really big in that, and he like knows a lot of different things. They got a brand called Never Stare. You know, shout out to the homies Russ, K7. But yeah, so he been teaching me a lot of new things. I kind of been like in apprentice mode because I'm the type of person like I always like to learn shit. I feel like you can never stop learning. You feel me? No matter how old I get, there's always some shit I don't know. So I always like to pick up different skills and shit like that. So I was actually telling him like, yo, I want to get some custom rugs made. But he was like, yo, I know how to do that. So I was like, oh, I think we should work something out. Hook a brother up, show me what to do. So he actually had all the crafty tools to do it. So, you know, he put a brother on. He actually taught me how to make it. So we've been practicing, make some of these.
On there. And I've seen people and I've seen the process. So I know it's not exactly an easy process to do, but
shit was harder than I thought it was. But then he told me too. He's like, yeah, it looks easy, right? But yeah, that shit, definitely. There's definitely some technique to it.
Yeah, hell yeah. And I mean, you know what though? I salute you for that, because you know what? A lot of people be like, just make it for me, I'll pay you. The fact that you're learning how to do this shit, bro, is just another tool in the tool belt for you. You know what I mean? Facts. Another aspect to what you do. Because now you ain't gotta wait. Just say you got an idea for a dope custom rug and you want to make it and it's part of your brand, or you just want to make it for yourself personally. Yeah. You ain't gotta go nowhere now. You know how to make it. You learn how to do it yourself. You go get your materials and just, let the art speak for itself.
No, it's a fact.
I dig it, man. Check this out, bro. I want to thank you so much for giving us your time. I know you're moving around. You're a busy dude. I appreciate you. It's 3:00. It's about 4:00 out there right now. It's about 1:00, almost something like that out here. You're on the east. I'm on the west. I definitely appreciate you taking the time out, bro. Do you have any shout outs? Anybody you want to say something to? Your links, how people can get a hold of you, anything like that?
Or there, you already know. Shout out to my team, Collective Studios. If y'all ever in New York, Brooklyn, y'all need anything, you already know. Come down here. We got y'all. Same goes for y'all. Y'all gotta come out here and see us. You know, we gotta do a pop up. You know, we gotta make it happen, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, shout out to all my people. Shout out to Never Stale. Shout out to my homies from Uptown. Shout out to people from Detroit. I got too many motherfuckers to name, but yo, shout out to everybody that's on Paper Route 2. Shout out to RiBirth. Shout out to y'all guys, because y'all was dope for the energy and building this relationship. We definitely gonna take it further, and thank y'all for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna continue to keep this momentum going, man. Salute to you, bro. Blessings on the new year and everything that you got going on. You know, ourselves, we're gonna keep moving, and we're just gonna keep rocking like we've been doing. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep building, putting these bridges together. You know what I mean? This is the No Invite Podcast. I'm Blaze. You can find us on Instagram at no_invite_podcast. You could also subscribe to our YouTube channel at RiBirth Media Films. That's RiBirth Media Films. That's where you'll be able to see the visual for this Zoom. Make sure that you guys go to any podcasting platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, type in No Invite to catch the audio of this Zoom. I'm gonna be in contact, bro. I'm gonna make sure I send you graphics and everything so that you could you can promote it, and I'm gonna send you the links once it's out. And could just keep doing what you're doing, man. Because like I said, I've been keeping up with it, bro. And I know you out there. You know what I mean?
I appreciate you too, bro. Like, keep doing this, bro. You definitely helping the culture and giving artists that don't normally have a platform. And that takes a lot to do. You feel me? Not anybody could just do that. So mad respect, bro.
Man, we got to, bro. We got to do this for ourselves, man. We can't be the complaining artist. We got to be the proactive artist. You know, we got to. If we don't like how platforms are treating us, then we make our own fucking platform.
That's a fact, yo. You know That's a fact, bro.
So with that being said, bro, we finna sign out. Thank you so much, Lawz, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you. Bless, bro. Holla, y'all.
One.